It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my co-host, Siege. Good morning, man. How you
Good,
doing?
good morning, Biron. I'm doing great. Another day, woke up, nothing to complain about on this side.
Yeah, man. Good. What'd you think about March's first episode hosting yesterday? I'm curious.
It's a little different.
Yeah,
March
it
is
is.
great. He's gonna maybe need some classes from you, on how to really serve it up here on SimWorld today. But other than that, I mean, he did a great job in all reality.
He did.
If you're handing it off to anyone, it should be March. So
Yeah, he
it was
really did.
good. Yeah.
Did a great job. I'm proud of him. All right, but look, let's jump into the show proper, shall we? The SWBA playoffs are starting pretty soon. We're getting close to time, man. What's it? April 16th when it starts. April 19th. One of the two. It's close. It's close. Uh, and it's time to start. Looking at teams who've clinched playoff spots, who could miss the playoffs, that kind of thing. So let's start talking about it a little bit. We know the Celtics and Bucks have at least clinched, play-in spots. The Cavs, there's some teams that clinch playoff spots, or trying to get them. Who do you think though is gonna miss or get in those the last few spots there?
I actually think this is the most boring possible answer, but I think the way the standings sit right now is probably how it's gonna set. Maybe not the order in the standings and the seeding, but you got the Hawks in 10th place in the East right now. They're 4 games ahead of Brooklyn. I don't know if Brooklyn's got enough. If there's any switch up that happens, it'll be Brooklyn sneaking in, going on a run. Maybe Mikal Bridges going on a really great hot streak with Cam Thomas next to him, scoring 40 points a game for the rest of the season, something like that. And in the West, maybe the Rockets can sneak in over the Warriors. Maybe. But I'll say I don't really want them to, because it would just be kind of a fever dream to see Steph Curry and LeBron play in a playing game to see who gets to compete in the playoffs this year.
It would be
Um,
weird.
it would be weird, but it would be awesome. That game would have finals type energy, between two guys who have played against each other in the finals multiple times. Um, that would be awesome. So I honestly think that the teams that are in there right now, there might be a shake 'em in the standings, but I think this is who we're gonna see. The only exception is I could see the Rockets taking over that spot from Golden State.
Okay, fair enough. Focus on the East real quick. I want to start here at the top really quick, just because I'll bring them up. Your Bucks, man. They're and Giannis and them boys over there. They're looking really good. Looking really good, man. Second place, 44-24 right now. That's gonna be a tough conference to take though, with the Celtics playing as good as they are and as good as they look all season. It'd be a tough thing for them to do, but I think that if anybody could give them a run, I think your Bucks could do it. Um, but I do think that looking at the bottom of it here, it's so weird. I think me and Bob had talked about it a while ago, but it's so weird seeing teams with losing records uh, potentially making the playoffs. I feel like that shouldn't happen. Personally, uh, the the Nets are too. I think the Nets are a little too far back to get in right now. So I think they miss. Um, as I'm looking at it here, CJ, yeah, I mean the Rockets maybe like you said, the Rockets can maybe take a spot from one of those teams down there, but I think it's kind of I think it'll hold the way it is though. I think it'll hold. I really do. I think you're right.
Yeah,
We'll see.
unless the Rockets go on a streak and Jalen Green like beats some ass up or something, like this is
Mhm.
probably like what we're looking at.
Which that's fine. Some people won't be happy about that, and some people would love to see it happen. But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. Who knows, right? Who knows? Well,
Just
well
gotta
look,
take it as you will.
yeah, exactly. Well, look, Mike Williams has signed with the Jets over the last day or so, and He signed a 1-year deal with the Jets, and he's joining Aaron Rodgers and them in I won't say in Green Bay. He's not there anymore with New York. Um, this is I think this is a big move for the Jets. Do you think they're in a spot where they're building to be in win now mode quicker than expected, even with Rodgers, at quarterback and given his age and all of that stuff, with the add of Mike Williams in that receiving corps?
Yeah, I definitely do. And before I get into that, I'll say real quick, the Chargers are certainly building towards no shot that Justin Herbert resigns with the Austin deal. I don't know what the Chargers are doing. It's like they're getting rid of everybody. But I digress. We'll talk about the Jets. I definitely think they are. You sign a guy like Rodgers. He's in the twilight of his career. He's on his way out, but he's still got a lot to give. He can still sling that thing. I thought they were poised to make a run last year with what they had last year. The year
And Rodgers
before
got hurt, and that kind of threw everything off the rails.
But their offensive line is greatly improved. Garrett Wilson looks like he can be a top receiver. Breece Hall can be a top back. And then that defense is nothing to mess with at all. So if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy and be even 80% of the Aaron Rodgers we've seen in the past, this team to me absolutely can be a contender.
It's really weird how a quarterback can really make all the difference in a team, because last season, again, I wasn't sure how the Jets were going to do. I didn't think they'd be contenders coming into the season, even with Aaron Rodgers there, personally. But when he went down, that really hurt, because we saw Zach Wilson and the other quarterback come in, and neither of them really kind of got the team moving offensively. So when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers who will hopefully come back healthy and not have an injury like he did in week 1 of last season, that's going to disrail everything. So barring that, the addition of Mike Williams is definitely going to help. Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson over there, those two receivers, I think that those will be, Mike Williams especially will be the biggest addition. Mike Williams I feel like he's a human cheat code, almost.
A little bit. That's a big guy. That's a big guy out there catching the ball.
Yeah. I mean, he is coming off ACL surgery 6 months ago. So hopefully that won't be a problem for him once season actually starts. Because we know how football is, man. Injuries are always something to keep in mind, because you never know what's gonna happen. And we can talk about all of this now, and then once we get close to the season starting, it might not even matter, because some freak injury happens or whatever. But I think you're right. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, he's got those guys there, and I think that Mike Williams is going to be a big help for them. It's just a matter of everybody staying healthy. Yeah.
Availability is the best ability. That's what they say.
Exactly. Well, we had some similar prep action last night, and I think we saw a really great game between Queen City and Lakeshore Drive. And man, Lakeshore Drive, they had to come back to pull that thing out, and they did too. So was this, in your opinion, a better effort by Lakeshore to come back, or was it a poor closing job by Queen City?
That it's so tough to say. You want to give props to Queen City. They controlled the game for most of the game. They did a really good job of going out there and implementing exactly the scheme that they wanted to. They were able to slow down D'Angelo Jordan, not the whole time, but for parts of the game until the fourth quarter. Same thing with Norman Nations. They did a great job of getting to the rack, playing good defense, boarding. All of these things that they set out to do, they did a really good job of doing, and they controlled the game. But I think it's a poor closeout job more than it's a great comeback job, because I don't think I saw, to me, when I see a comeback and I think that was a great comeback, I think somebody did something insane. And Norman Nations did have a really hot streak there in the second half that kind of maybe could be identified as that. But to me, Lakeshore Drive was just playing Lakeshore Drive basketball. And I think what I saw was that Queen City had a hard time containing this team and these stars for 4 quarters in totality. They did a really good job of doing it for three, almost three and a half even, but that's a hard team to contain for 4 quarters. And so I think that's what we saw.
So I it's so tough because like you said, there's no doubt Lakeshore is a really, really strong team, and I'm not surprised to see them come back. But I feel like when you control a game for as long as Queen City did, at some point you have to be able to put teams away, even if they're better than you. So I'm gonna go the opposite direction this morning. I'm gonna say I think it was a poor job of closing out the game for Queen City.
Oh, I
Uh,
agree.
y-
I agree with
I
you. Yeah, I think it was a bad closeout job. Yeah.
yeah, I I think that again, the game's in your favor for the most part. All you have to do is put it away. I understand Lakeshore is a good team. They're in the top of that foundation region for a reason. They're really, really good. But in order to take the steps you want to take, let's say as you get more toward race to one time, this is when you're gonna need to beat those better teams. And you can't play a good 3 quarters and in the fourth squander it away. Um, give credit where it's due, of course, to Queen City for getting to that point, but you gotta finish the job. At the end of the day, you gotta finish the job, man. You gotta finish.
Almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. So I don't. It's not that
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah. E- exactly, exactly, man. You gotta find a way to finish, and you have good games from Marco Jacobs, Taz Journey, and Carter Fields. Um, it needed a little bit more from some other people there last night. But I think that the defense, especially in that fourth quarter, 29 points for Lakeshore in the fourth, which is a far cry from what they had all game. Keep that in mind. So explosion in the fourth quarter didn't help, didn't do any favors. I think at when you hold Lakeshore to 13 points in the third quarter, you're expecting to win that game. I feel like if you're Queen City at that by that point in time. Uh, now it was a close game at that point in time still, but gotta find a way to close out the games going forward. But let's get out of here though. We got a new segment here to end the show. Our SimWorld Prep wrap up. Let's jump right into it. First, best coast basketball went on to play somewhere Atlantis at home, and Atlantis protected home court, winning 78-71. Yanni Janssen scored 7 straight points in the last 47 seconds, kind of clutch to finish with 21 points in the win.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was some. Bjarni is. He's a hooper. He's a hooper. He can't be contained, and I think people are finally seeing it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. See,
Rocky Mountain fell to Showtime basketball. No, Rocky Mountain beat Showtime basketball. I'm sorry, I got my records wrong. But
yeah.
84-83, Brendan Romine had a chance to tie the game and send it into overtime in the last couple of seconds. Didn't hit it. Bryce James and Cole Webb did everything they could, combined for 44 points, but it was not enough. As 6 players for Rocky Mountain scored in double digits, and Showtime continues to falter.
Yeah, Showtime continuing to sputter a little bit, but hey, they gotta find a way to get it done, man. And speaking of getting done, Cascadia got it done against SimWorld Middle East. They had 6 players in double figures in that game. Really balanced attack in that one. Cascadia now rolls to 15-6 on the regular season, and they're still looking like one of the better teams in that Neo region. And with all that, you guys, thank you for joining us here on SimWorld today. We appreciate. Oh, oh yeah, the Ace Hoopers game. That was broadcast game as well. Yeah, 70-67. Lone Star ended up winning that one. And look, that was a really, really close game there at the end. Unfortunately for H Town, Lone Star's gonna take bragging rights in Battle of Texas. And with all that being said, you guys, that's going to do it for SimWorld today. Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you all. We're going to work through the bugs there at the end. We'll work through it. No worries about that. But look, continue to support us. Continue to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notify bell so you know when our show streams and games go live for you all. And remember, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld